Kweku from Kweku to Kwame. Nana Kweku Buidi, who is spokesperson GN Savings and Loans. Nana, thank you very much for your time and good morning to you.
All right, thank you. So my name is Atta Kweku Buedi.
Atta
Kweku Buedi.
Okay, noted.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
First, let's start with your own reactions to the decision of the Court of Appeal, because this has been a long, drawn-out legal battle for you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Let me thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak today on this matter. Let me put it this way. Some of us, it did not come to us as a surprise, because we knew from day one that the bank never committed any crime against the state. The bank was doing a genuine business in Ghana, supporting the economy at that time. So the decision that was taken by the then government, we felt that it was a reckless decision. But that they didn't believe us, they didn't understand why we were saying all these things. So we knew that one day, justice will be served. And that was what happened yesterday. So for me, speaking to you now and others like myself, believe that justice was served yesterday, which should have been served long ago, but it never. But we thank God, under the administration of John Mahama, we are witnessing this justice.
What essentially would this mean to GN Savings and Loans? Because at the time the license was withdrawn, you had been downgraded from a bank to the Savings and Loans. How much does this mean to you?
Well, I think it's a good news for GN Savings and Loans. The reason is that we all know who Dr. Ndoum is. He's noted for creating wealth and creating businesses. So right now, what it means is that Dr. Ndoum, yesterday he said it. He said what is going to happen will be bigger than what was there before. So we believe that immediately he's going to start working with his team and then get things going. So that people who were working with the bank, GN Savings alone, and many Ghanaians who are so home and looking for employment will also get jobs to do. So Dr. Ndoum is ready to make sure that he supports the economy with job creation. So we are happy that the bank is back and is going to do business and is going to use Ghanaians to do business and is going to support the economy. That is what it's meant to us.
Does it feel to him and to those of you around him that this will be the end of the road when it comes to battling for that license? Because it's a Court of Appeal decision. The Bank of Ghana can still decide that they will go to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I agree with you perfectly, because when the High Court ruled against us in 2024, we felt the court erred in its ruling. So that's why we went to Court of Appeal. So if tomorrow we wake up and BOG say, I'm not satisfied or I don't agree with the Court of Appeal ruling, it is within their right, as the Constitution says, to go to Supreme Court to challenge the Court of Appeal ruling. We are ready for that. Yes. So we will not sit here and then pretend that that is the end of the road. No. We know that. But what gives us confidence more is that even if BOG takes the matter to Supreme Court, we still believe that GN Savings and Loan never committed any error, any crime, nothing of that sort. Just that it was somebody's decision. Which decision we don't know what informed them to take that decision. So we are ready and prepared for any further legal engagement or battle.
So it seems you are still unfazed. It's been like 8 years of moving in and out of the courts, and you say no matter how long it will take for what you believe is the truth to be established, you continue? He will continue?
My brother, you know that when you believe in something, you fight to the end. Unless your conscience tells you that what you are doing is wrong. I've always been telling people, as a journalist myself, I believe that when you know the truth, you go for it, you fight for it, and you live. You must make sure you live to tell your story. And that is what we are doing. So we have been able to endure this 8 years or 7 years. What else can't we endure? You understand it? I remember yesterday when I went to the court, I got there early. I wanted to enter the courtroom. A lady told me that it's not yet time. You can only come in at 8 o'clock. I said to the lady, I've been able to wait for 8 or 7 years. So how can't I wait for a few minutes BOD because we know. That's why I kept saying that the bank never committed any financial crime against the state. So whoever wants to challenge this ruling, we are ready for that person. I've seen a couple of news items flying around that DOJ will go to this and this is not a done deal, and they can make, that's their opinion. Nobody is preventing anybody from going to court. The laws of this country work. That is why it's democracy. Dr. Ndoum could have hit the street when they took the lances and then do anything. But he never did anything of that sort. He said, no, I believe in the rules of this country. I respect the law. Let me go to court. That was why when the High Court ruled against him, he further went to Court of Appeal. You understand it? In fact, let me tell you, if we had lost this case yesterday, I think Dr. Ndoum would have moved to Supreme Court. You understand? So BOD also, it's within their rights. If they are not satisfied, they can go to Supreme Court. But I can assure you that they will not get any verdict.
That's interesting. But do you feel, because a lot of, and I'm also wondering what Dr. Ndoum makes of the new political environment, because the political environment dictates a lot as to how perhaps the systems react to you. As for the judiciary, you can say they are independent, but the Bank of Ghana forms a part of the political environment that you have currently, a new administration at the bank. Does Doc feel that there's a new wind blowing that perhaps will respond differently to this ruling?
Well, what we know is that before John Mahama assumed office, you remember John Mahama himself had a different opinion on this whole matter, where he even said that when he gets the nod to lead this country, the banking cleanup is what he's going to look into it and set up a committee to investigate and all kinds of things. When John Mahama was making this promise or saying this thing, GM Bank was already, or GM Savings was already in court. So when John Mahama became president January 7, 2025, the matter was put before the court. You understand the point? That is it. John Mahama cannot interfere in this case. And I respect him for that because he is an apostle of democracy and he believes in that. The laws must work. Now you are asking me about the current administration of the BOG. We also believe that the BOG also knows how the law works. That's what I'm saying. Nobody will stop a Siama and his team to not to go to court. Nobody will stop them. But we believe that the current environment we find ourselves is good for businesses, especially local entrepreneurs and businesses. So we are here. We want to see how things will unfold. We don't want to believe people to sit down and say that Mahama has influenced the judiciary, Mahama has influenced BOG not to do that. And I can tell you that Mahama will never do that. You understand it? Sometimes I have my own reservation about Mahama. But this one, I can tell you, he won't do that. He will allow the law to work. And that is what it's doing. So that's what I'm saying, that if we all know the laws work in this country, definitely the law will speak. And like I said earlier, if we had lost yesterday, we would have even moved to Supreme Court. You understand it? So we believe that this is a good time for every Ghanaian to be happy that at least justice is on course and people are getting justice for whatever they are doing. That is all that we are saying.
Great. Assuming that the Bank of Ghana decides not to seek a review of this, and they agree and follow the decision of the court and hand over and starts engagement towards handing over your licenses to you, is the GN group in the position to revive what used to be, perhaps even if you are doing GN savings and loans in the manner that it was before the decision was made, I think somewhere in 2018? Hello, Koku.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I was asking whether you are in a position to actually revive what you used to be GN savings and loans.
Yeah, savings alone is different from universal bank. So you remember when they reclassified us, they gave us some conditions. For instance, you cannot run the 300 branches you used to run. So definitely the number will reduce. You understand? That is one. Two, there are some services that savings alone cannot provide. That's what the law says. That's it. So within this, we are confident that we can deliver our savings and loans. Now, talking about, the court said that they should also hand over all our assets in its original state to us. You understand? So we are going to have our assets to work with. That is one. And we have always been saying that the government owes us. When we say the government owes us, we are not talking about, in fact, most of the projects that were executed on behalf of government or for government were done during Mohammed's first administration. But when MPP came to power, they said they were going to audit all the projects, cocoa roads, sea defense, and all of you. They didn't even pay. So when even they reclassified it, that reclassification, savings and loan, the minimum capital is 50 million. I don't know what it is now, but that time it was 50 million Ghana cedis. In fact, Oporiata confirmed to us the money that we were demanding from government, that the government owed us, was not the exact money we were demanding. They said that the government owed 30 million. And look, we said to Oporiata, if government, even this figure we are contesting. However, if you still insist that this is the 30 million, use 15 million to pay, give us 15 million to pay for savings loan. They never did that thing. So I believe and I know that we have the capacity to deliver and then provide jobs as a savings and loan company. Dr. Ndoum is noted for that. And he has shown it. He's a tested and tried businessman. So there's no way anything can slow him down. He will get the job done. And we will all be here to testify.
Well, we can only wish you the best. And thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you, too.
Kweku Ata Bwedi, a spokesperson, GN Savings and Loans, joining us on the line. The question that we ask is, what will this mean going forward? He says they are ready. And as long as the Bank of Ghana complies with the decision of the courts, they will be ready to take off. That Dr. Ndoum's drive has not gone down. He is still very much committed to reviving the bank to the extent possible, the extent allowed by the law. Taking us exactly 34 minutes past 8 here in the studios of Radio Gold 90.